Welcome back to the brain injury discussion. This is Jay, your local case manager, and this is actually going to be a special edition. I would like to ask everyone a question. Does Santa Claus have a brain injury? Well, every year he has to go around handing out the toys and possibly coal to the naughty and nice, respectively. So, what makes me think he has a brain injury? Well, he only works one day a year, and it's at night. Doesn't have any coworkers really, except the elves. Um, I'm pretty sure he gets along with the reindeer most of the time. Maybe he's been kicked in the head by one of them. I'm pretty sure that has happened at some point in time. He does have to keep a list. Maybe some amnesia going on there. He does have to check it twice. Who knows? That might be a little bit of a compulsion there. I mean, he's probably making toys all year long. That doesn't really shock me, but maybe there's some toxic chemicals in making those toys. Well, he's got to mine a lot of coal for the naughty. I mean, working in a coal mine doesn't sound like it's good for your brain. I think, speaking of which, the North Pole is very cold. I'm surprised he doesn't get hypothermia. Or maybe, or maybe he slips and falls on the ice. Man, he's got a sleigh. Maybe his sleigh has some all-weather tires to it. Maybe he needs to check the brakes on it. And to think about the nature of his work, it's got to be cold to begin with, but if he's actually flying at altitude, there's not a lot of oxygen in that area. I hope he's got oxygen set up there because otherwise he might get some anoxia. And not only that, he's got a sack of toys that could be rolling around if not secured in his sleigh. So I'm pretty sure he wants to secure those. Rooftops are usually slanted, so parking a sleigh on a rooftop doesn't sound like a real safe idea. And having to get out, I mean, thankfully he does wear boots, right? He has to wear those boots. You want to wear boots on the ice. But going down chimneys, I mean, that's a lot of smoke inhalation that could be prevented if he just knocked on the door. He leaves his gifts and his toys and his maybe his coal, and maybe he gets some cookies and milk. Well, that's not very healthy for a brain injury, but I guess if that's what he likes, maybe we should leave carrots and celery out for him. Well, that would probably get me on the naughty list, so we'll leave out cookies and milk. So, fun part of the video done. Yes, I believe Santa Claus might have a brain injury, especially after checking a list twice that he had to make. Uh, but let's talk about some real winter hazards. Winter brain injuries. Obviously, there's skiing, there's sledding, there's winter sports, all of which can definitely cause a brain injury, especially level of danger with snow and ice. What about holiday get togethers? Well, some people might accuse fruitcake of causing a brain injury, but what usually ends up happening is people have to drive places or they have to commute. So, if you are driving this winter, I would encourage you to make sure you check your tires, make sure that they actually have tread and that they're not bald like I am under this hat. And you want to make sure that they actually are the right tread. Make sure that they're good because tires can be replaced. Although pricey, tires can be replaced, your brain cannot. Well, maybe check your brakes as well. Make sure that they work. Also, probably want to have a backup plan. You probably want to have, maybe some snacks, an emergency kit, just in the case, right? Um, Maybe some salt. That way, when you're walking, like let's say you have a concrete sidewalk, maybe some salt to help melt the ice on there. That might be a good idea. There's a bunch of other ideas, but it all kind of boils down to being prepared. You don't want to start a fire in the home from your heater because it's cold outside. So, obviously preventing these things is probably the best way to go about this. You want to prevent the brain injury before it happens. So maybe be mindful of the fire and be mindful of your heat source. Make sure there's no flammables around it. Um, Also, be mindful of the tires on the car when you go to visit your family. Maybe make sure the brakes work. Maybe make sure the windshield wipers work. And also, when you're driving and you got this big windshield, but only like this little bit of section here cleared out, maybe you want to clear off all that ice. Maybe you want to have that full clear vision. Um, because that would limit your vision. That might cause an accident. It might cause you to get into an accident. Maybe it'll cause you and someone else to get into a car accident. So think about it. Also, might want to allow more time because you want to drive very carefully, especially in the snow, the ice, the sludge. Ice is very slippery. Cars can slide on ice really quickly, so you want to be careful with that. You might want to drive a little bit slower, especially around the snow and the sludge. If you have a rear wheel drive pickup truck, that might not be a good thing to drive in the snow. For front wheel drive car might actually be better. But if all you have is a rear wheel drive pickup truck, one of the tricks that you can do is leave the bed of the truck uncovered. And you can let the snow, or even if you wanted to, you could shovel the snow in the back. And the idea is that that'll give you a little bit more weight in the back on the driving wheels. But front wheel drive is better in the snow. Four wheel drive is better, anyways. So four wheel drive would be better in all those conditions. But not everyone has four wheel drive. Front wheel drive would be better. And if you have rear wheel drive and that's all you have, you might want to drive it a little bit more carefully. Your chances of spinning out and your chances of, losing control are actually stronger with rear wheel drive. Also, if you live in an area that has a lot of snow, maybe some tire chains. But that is an area with a lot of snow. We're here in Virginia. Obviously, we don't get that much snow. Just be prepared for slippage and fallage because, once the initial parts of the snow melt, it creates a layer of ice underneath the snow. So, and when you're walking out in the snow, you kind of want to have some proper footwear. So maybe some boots that have like some tread. I don't think anyone would want to wear flip flops out in this kind of weather, especially the cold. But I mean, if that's your thing, go for it. But you want to make sure you have some good footwear because that might mean the difference between you slipping and falling and you almost slipping and falling. So, again, brain injury special for the winter. I hope you all have a very wonderful holiday season and that everything goes well. A good reflective season as well. And I hope you're all safe out there. And remember, if, maybe Santa has a brain injury, but doesn't mean you have to. But, anyways, happy holidays, everybody.